So in this video we're having a look at Snail Shell's latest figure. This is the Tactical Maid Kazune Tokiwa. So a lot of people have shown interest in this figure, so this should be quite a good figure to have a look at. So as we can see, we get quite a few additional hands. We get a tactical belt, we get a nice rifle, lots of ammo clips, there's an extra faceplate, and a figure stand. So this is the latest release by Snail Shell. Now, Snail Shell don't have any consistency or any pattern or theme for the figures that they release. What we have been seeing lately is we had a nun, we also had a succubus, we've had a couple of bunny girls, and now we've got this, which is a more military type figure. So she's a tactical military type, and you get this fantasy maid outfit. Now when I say that they don't have any consistency with, you know, like the type of figures they release, the patterns, they don't have any patterns, that is a good thing. Reason being is that they can basically just release what they want. They're releasing a lot of different themes for their figures, like horror theme, or we've got this military figure, and it just adds a lot of interest with the figures that they release. It just makes you wonder what they're going to come out with next, and I think that is a really good thing. As a third-party company, they don't seem to be copying any other figures. So any other figures that's out there, they're not copying the superhero lines, they're just doing their own thing, and I think that is a really, really good thing. So here is the rifle that we get, and there is a lot of nice fine details on there. Weapons like this never come in wrong. So it's nice to get really good detailed weapons like this. And this is that tactical belt that she comes with. You can see that you can put all of the ammo clips in the belt. And that's the other faceplate that we get. Both of these faces will have adjustable eyes. So like all the other Snail Shell figures that we've gotten, you can change the position of the eyes. And as I explained before, you're getting a lot of additional hands, lots of weapon clips. And we also get that figure stand. So this maid outfit that she has on. So this bottom piece here, this is soft goods and the rest of it is plastic. So this can be removed. It's attached by Velcro. Now to get the tactical belt on, what you're going to do, she will pull apart from the torso. And then to add the ammo clips, I'm just going to push them into the belt. And the clip is also removable and replaceable in the rifle. Now the hands are made from a nice softer plastic, so a soft PVC. So getting the gun in and out of her hands is nice and easy, and also getting the hands on and off with the pegs, they also pop off nice and easy. So there's not really much risk in breaking these figures, but you do still have to be careful with them. Right then, on to some articulation. So first of all, a ponytail. That has some movement, so you can articulate the hair. joints are nice and easy to move, so you don't feel like you're going to break these figures. Double jointed elbows. Articulation in the wrist. She has some drop down hips. Now these boots are nice, so that's a floating piece. So we're seeing a lot of this in figures lately, where instead of it being a full solid boot, you get this floating piece for the shin on the ankle. Now I don't know if the camera's picking this up well, but the paintwork, she has some almost red shading on her skin, and it just gives her a nice bit of pigment in the colour of her skin. But again, I don't think the camera might be picking that up very well. But the paint's really nice, the articulation's really nice. So on to some size comparisons. Here she is next to one of the bunny girls. This is the sun-kissed version of Eileen. This is the Mafex Robocop. This is the SH Figure Arts Ryu. Also SH Figure Arts Chun-Li. And here we have another one of Snail Shell's latest figures. This is the Zombie Grisser. So as you can see, looking at these two, this just goes to show you that Snail Shell doesn't have a pattern in the characters that they release. So we've got horror figures from Snail Shell, and we've also got this military tactical figure. And I think it just adds a lot of interest with the figures that they release. So this is an excellent figure. In my opinion, I think she turned out better than what I thought she would. Now, with all Snail Shell figures that I collect, I do tend to find that they are getting better by each release. I don't necessarily mean that she's my favourite character that they've released, but in terms of their quality, the quality is definitely improving. Now I find that I buy a lot more figures like this these days than I do the likes of Figma, Figure Arts, Mafex, things like that. I just get a lot more interest in things like this. For my personal opinion, I feel like they move a lot better. I feel like the quality is a lot better in these. Would this be a third-party company? I suppose they don't license anything. I know that they have got a few figures coming out that are licensed. Like one of the Nikki figures, she's coming out. She's part of a computer game. She'll be out in July. So they are getting licenses, but in terms of their previous releases up to this point, they've all been original concepts. And they're just fantastic figures to play around with. A lot of interest in articulation, a lot of interest in themes. The paintwork's always fantastic. Yeah. Brilliant figures, and this one does not disappoint.